The Russian elite are not happy with Putin and are quote unquote disappointed in the way that he's handling the war in Ukraine. That is what reports are stating, and we have to break it down. This information is coming from Medusa, who actually has 10 different officials commenting on this, 2 close to Putin's administration and 1 senator. There's a few quotes here I want to read for you, which is the first one comes from the source inside the Russian government that states, "The main emotion is disappointment. We expected the war to end, for the fighting to end. Fatigue has been the main feeling for a long time. We're already tired of waiting even. It feels like you're going deeper and deeper every day. We also expected some kind of lifting of sanctions in exchange for peace. Now they're inflicting more and more pain." This also comes in the same day in which the United States and the EU put more sanctions on the Russian shadow fleet. Another one of these sources, one who's very close to Putin, said something which I think is probably the most important thing here, which is some patriots among the Russian elite, primarily high-ranking security officials, are unhappy with the president's approach, adding, "What they have is not enough. They need a mobilization, a complete transition to a war footing, and that's not happening." Many of these Russian sources also believe that with Donald Trump winning, they thought that maybe he would come in and ease sanctions. And from the looks of it, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening at least anytime soon. So what does all this information mean? It means that there's finally some kind of pressure starting to form on Putin. Something that we said takes about 6 to 9 months. It's more sanctions, which we saw today. We saw their government having to deal with increased prices on everything because Russia needs more money for their weapons. It's destroying oil refineries and stopping a lot of the oil from happening or getting out, because then Russia can't get the money, which means they raise things so that people get angry. And then from there, the added pressure that Ukraine is now pushing back in several areas, they're going to be forced into coming to the negotiation table. But it's still unclear what a peace plan would look like from the Russian side, because so far, Putin said back on December 19th, he wants what he wants. He outlined everything, which is still the same thing that he wanted for almost 3 years now. And that's not negotiations. That's not how you negotiate. You can't invade a country and then want to stop fighting, but keep everything that you stole and you took out all those civilians into those horrible things. It doesn't work that way. There needs to be consequences. We need to be sure that Russia doesn't do this again to Ukraine or any other country, which is why countries are preparing to stick with Ukraine for the long run. That way they can push back the Russians and then give them security guarantees. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on everything happening in Ukraine, so be sure to follow me for more.